Good day, my joyful family. I'm home today in my bed. I'm not feeling my best. No, my body is not the way that I would like it to be. I'm not feeling energized at all. Even though I took my medications, I took my multivitamins, my irons, everything that my body needs that the doctor prescribed for me. And guess what? Everything is only due to the fact that I have diabetes. I have type 2 diabetes, and I'm here today to say condolences to Opal's family, Opal, Auntie Donna's friend that recently passed, Opal Fraser Jackson. And to be honest, I didn't know much about Opal, but when I saw the news going around, I typed in her name on YouTube, and a video came up. One of Auntie Donna's video came up where Opal was at 99 and she was sampling the cakes and she was drinking a bottle of water and she was talking about her diabetes, and the fact that she can't eat a lot of the cake, and she was even gonna wrap up a piece of the coconut cake, which is her favorite, and take it to eat another time. Now, diabetes is no joke. Diabetes is a silent killer. I'm gonna shed some light on myself, my experience with diabetes. I am not here to lecture anyone, and this is a disclaimer. I am not here to lecture anyone. I am not here to educate anyone about diabetes. I am only here to talk about my illness, which is diabetes, and everything else that falls under the diabetes, because once you're diagnosed with diabetes, it comes with other things. Now let me backtrack to when I just found out that I had diabetes. It was in early 2000, yes, and I can't forget one day I was home. When we put the clothes on the line outside, we always use a stick like a bamboo or so to put up the line as high as possible so that the sun and the breeze can reach the clothes properly and they will dry so you can take them up before evening comes. So there was this dry bamboo at my clothesline, and I'm talking about early 2000. It wasn't past 2005. And to be honest with you, even my memory sometimes is being affected. And it's all due to the fact that I have diabetes and all the other complications that falls under it. And I'm going to try and talk about a little bit of everything. And so please stay tuned and listen. I'm not here to say, I'll be here to talk about things that is happening to me and my body. So backtracking again to when I was pushing up the bamboo at the clothesline, a little piece of the bamboo stick me in my hand right here, right on this fat part here, close to my thumb. But a plane ticket was already bought for me to travel to the United States, Massachusetts, Boston to be exact. That's where my sister resides. And it was 2 days before my flight that happened to me. But I'm gonna tell you something. The same day that the bamboo stick me in my finger, I couldn't sleep that night. It was so painful and swollen and red, and it had fever. And the following day I decided that I had to go to the doctor. My sister was saying, maybe you could go to the doctor. When you come, you could go down to Boston Medical. But I could not wait. I had to go to the doctor the following day. They examined it and they gave me a prescription. I got some pain medications and there was an antibiotic on it as well. But to be honest, guys, I didn't buy the antibiotic because I still felt like when I reach Boston, I'm gonna go down to the hospital because I have a health card I have an assigned doctor there, and because when I travel, I always go to Boston, and if anything happens to me, I would go to Boston Medical. And so I didn't buy the antibiotic. I bought some pain pills, and when I went up and showed my sister, she said that okay, yes, let us take you. When I went there, the first thing that they said was they're gonna look to see if there's any foreign object in my hand, which is like splinter or so, because I told them what happened from the bamboo. And when they look at my hand, it was still red and swollen and so painful. When I squeezed it, there was some water running out of it, and the water was hot. I couldn't use my hand. And so they did the x-ray, and they said that there was no foreign object in it. So, they're just gonna give me medication. And I think with the medication and from using the warm water, in the pipe when I bathe or when I use the kitchen sink, it healed it quite quickly. And I was over that. But my sister has a restaurant, used to have a restaurant in Boston. And whenever I go on vacation, I would go there and assist however I can. I was there working, and no matter how I sleep in the night, when I go to help out in the day, I feel tired like I didn't get any sleep the night before. I was feeling so thirsty quite often. That time I didn't know I was diabetic as yet. I was feeling so thirsty. I was feeling so tired. I was feeling hungry quite often. And I was like, no, I don't understand this. And so I drink, so I went to the bathroom and pee. Now, my mother had diabetes, but none of my siblings had diabetes. I was going to be the first one in the family, and I am the last one for my mother. And unfortunately, I was the only child at the time to have the diabetes like my mother. So yes, it comes from genetics, your genes, your parents' genes, it passes down to you. And so my mother had the diabetes, I had it. And so I was there, and I was like, whenever I feel so sleepy, I had to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes to put my head on the counter. And when I get that little 5 minutes or 10 minutes sleep, I would feel better. But because I didn't know I had diabetes, when I was thirsty, I would not be drinking just water. I would be drinking juice as well. And as I finished drinking one bottle of juice, I feel like I am thirsty again. I didn't know anything about diabetes really. And my back used to itch me quite often too. And I really didn't know. So what made me really go to the hospital was my toenails. They became dark. My two big toenails, they weren't dark, they became black. And I decided I don't like how my toenails look. I don't know if it's fungus or what. I'm gonna go to the doctor. And they looked at it, and when they questioned my family history, and I told them about everything that was happening to me, they did some testing, and they found out that yes, I have. As a matter of fact, when I told them about how I was feeling tired, I couldn't keep up, and they tested my sugar level. Oh my God! If it was like 20 higher, I would be in a coma. I forgot the reading. It was like, the normal reading would be between 70 and 120. I was way up there, like 700 something, hundreds, and it wasn't supposed to pass 120. And I'm telling you, they had to keep me for 2 days in the emergency room. They put me on the what do you call it? The saline. They put on the saline, and I had to drink a certain amount of water for the day, and right away they changed my diet. And so they kept me in the emergency room at Boston Medical for 2 days, and then they sent me out with um, medication, prescription. I got appointment when to come back, and of course I had to change my diet. So I was provided with a diet sheet that I had to follow. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it worked. I changed my diet. I changed my diet, and I started taking the medications, and they helped me. My toe, it came back clear. My toenail came back clear, and I was feeling the way that I used to feel. I wasn't thirsting like that anymore. I wasn't having the frequent urination anymore, and I was feeling sleepy, and my skin wasn't itching like it used to. So I would say my body came back to normal. So when I was coming back to Jamaica now, they gave me some printout to show to my doctor out here, and that's what I did. And I became a permanent user of medication for diabetes up until today. When I just started out, I started out with pills. But when I got pregnant with my last daughter in 2013, I was put on insulin. And after having the baby, I told the doctor that I found out that the insulin controls the diabetes better if I could stay on it. And she decided that yes, I could stay on the insulin, but I also have to take pills with it. Now, that was just a story of how I found out that I have diabetes, and up until today, I'm gonna tell you about the toll that it has taken on my body. Now, the job that I used to do was standing job, because I always cook and I always bake. I was in restaurant business, and I was used to cook my own food, and so for hours and hours and hours a day, I would be on my feet and my hands would be working. But after a while, I realized that instead of losing weight after working so hard, I'm gaining weight. And it's not because I'm eating too much. I don't eat a lot, and I don't eat often either. Um, I realize that my fingers, they start to feel numb. Sometimes when I'm using a knife, I have to stop and kind of like exercise my fingers. I also noticed that my feet, they were cramping, and my toes, they would become numb. I started wearing some more comfortable shoes, and I got more help so that my hand could get a little relief. But after a while, none of those seemed to be working. I went to my doctor, of course, along with the diabetes. There came hypertension, which is high blood pressure. Then I was diagnosed with poor blood circulation. I had to start taking more B vitamins, and over the years, they had to up my medication because the dosage that I was taking wasn't working enough. So I had to keep constantly going to the doctor to keep myself checked and to know where I am going wrong and things that I need to change. But upon recent years, after having diabetes for so many years, I also was diagnosed with a non-alcoholic fatty liver. And I was concerned about my right side because my right hand seemed to be swollen, like so many inches bigger than my left hand, like around my sleeve area here. I asked somebody to measure it with a tape measure for me, and then I realized it was 8 inches thicker than my left arm. And I mentioned all those to the doctor, and I was feeling discomfort under my rib cage in my side and in my back. And one Saturday afternoon, I was at my business place, cooking and selling food, of course. and I started feeling some terrible pain in my side, and I came up and I showered and I laid down, and then I realized that I wanted to get up off the bed, and the pain was so severe. I had to call my big daughter, and I started crying, and I told her that I want to move and I cannot move because of how bad the pain was. And she said, "What you want me to do?" And I said, "Help me to get up." And she said, "But mommy, you have to go to the doctor. Right now you can't stay home like this." And I decided to go, and I went. It was a late evening, and when I went, my doctor that I would normally see was not there, but it was a 24-hour medical facility, and so there was always another doctor there. And when I told him about the pain that I was having in the area that I was having it, he said it could either be one of three things. It could be your kidney, it could be your lungs, or it could be your liver. When he found out that I had diabetes, he said, well, he was trying to explain to me what diabetes can do to your organs, and right away he gave me an injection for the severe pain, some pain pills, and I got some, referral to do an ultrasound to look on my organs, and blood tests. Now, by Monday morning, because it was a Saturday evening, all those things, Monday morning, bright and early, I sat out. By then, the pain wasn't so severe because the injection and the pain pills helped to calm down the pain a little. I went right away and I did the ultrasound and I did the blood test. I did everything private, and it cost quite a lot for the blood test, and that blood test was to check on the liver to see if I had certain type of liver diseases. And when I went back with the result, I was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver, and they explained to me that after having diabetes for so many years, that's why it happened. So they tell me about the ways that I can go about trying to burn the fat off the liver, and it's mostly exercise, and you can use natural things like apple cider vinegar and lime juice. But I did some research, and I came across this herb named milk thistle, and they say milk thistle is the only known herb that can be used to aid in repairing the liver. And I put myself on the milk thistle as well, and it has been for a couple of years now. And then in the pain, I stopped feeling the pain, so I'm saying that okay, that means probably the fat in the liver is shrinking. But I do go to the doctor every 3 months, and I got, just this morning, I asked somebody to make some appointment for me to go do some blood tests to check on my kidney, because you have to check on your kidney, when you have diabetes. You have to check on your A1C to make sure that it's at a certain level, because if it's above a certain level, that's not good for you at all. You can have kidney damage, kidney failure. And so I try to keep abreast of everything. I do a kidney test every year, and it's always good. And I got a recent, I'm going to do an ultrasound to get the result to go back to the doctor at an appointment to see what the liver is looking like now versus then when I was just diagnosed. Now I am hoping that it's going to look better, because God knows I'm trying. I'm using all those things. Sometimes I drink the apple cider vinegar until it burns my chest. I have to take a break. I switch to lemon juice. I am now doing the apple cider gummies, and I am taking the milk thistle. So yes, I try, and I say a disclaimer: don't listen to what I'm saying. Don't go do the things that I do, or use the things that I use. Consult your doctor. If you have diabetes and you're having certain issues, don't do what Joyful Julie do. This is all about me, my experience. and everybody bodies function different. So don't ever take people's medication or let them tell you to do this or do that. Consult your physician, your doctor. And so, yes, I have checkups to do. I'm telling you, right now, I am mostly anemic. I have to be on iron pills, iron and vitamins, especially iron. My blood count is always low. It's all because of the diabetes. I don't know why, no matter what I eat, if I don't eat a large amount of green veggies or take iron, I start to feel a bit, like low energy levels. And whenever I'm feeling low like that, I know that my blood count is low because I've been suffering with that for years now. So I know the symptoms, how I feel when I need iron. I would blend up some green juice and drink, and I would get some iron and take them, and then I would come around. Another thing that bothers me a lot is the poor circulation, with the numbness in my fingers and my feet. Just in my instep area is always swollen, and my toes are numb. I am taking medication for those, but to be honest, sometimes I wonder if they even work. I have to be laying down for so many hours on my back, elevating my feet, because when you elevate your feet, you have to ensure that it's at the same level of your heart or a little higher, so that the blood can flow directly from your heart to your toes, and that's how you will get a relief. I also have to be wearing compression socks. When I don't wear my compression socks, my feet, they don't feel right. And I'm telling you, I am only 50 years old. I'm 49, I will be 50 in August. But because I've had diabetes for so many years, it's taken a toll on my body. Now, I am not surprised. Diabetes, if you don't eat right, you can have high cholesterol, and when you have high cholesterol, you can get a stroke. And diabetes took my mother's life. Yes, my mother was diabetic, and before she passed, she got a stroke, and she got a mild heart attack, and she lost a limb. And because her heart was weak, when they had to amputate one of her foot above her knee, it started with a toe. She lost a big toe first. Yes, she lost a digit. And because she was stubborn, my mother was stubborn, it ended up that she had gangrene, and it started spreading up to the knee, and they decided to do the amputation above her knee, and her heart was weak, so she did not recover from the surgery at all. But they had to take that foot. They had to. So, my mother didn't have diabetes as long as me, but because of her stubbornness, that's why it took her. I've had it for over 20 years, and I've never been admitted in the hospital from I was diagnosed. I've never been admitted in the hospital for any form of diabetes complications. I went in the hospital to have my baby, and that was it. I never got a cut or a wound that's not able to heal. Never. Although I've never gotten a big cut, but any little bruises and so, they heal quite quickly. People can't just look at you and know that you're diabetic. A lot of people would say, but you don't look like you have diabetes. When you're diabetic, it doesn't print all over your body. The word diabetes is not printed on you. And some people will have diabetes, and because of certain medication that they take, it makes them very slim. Now, the same medication that those people take and it makes them slim, I am also taking that same medication, and for the heck of it, I wouldn't lose weight. My doctor would say and my pharmacist would say, boy, this is rare because everybody that I know take this medication, they are slim, but not you at all. And I'm like, I shrugged my shoulder. I don't know why. I wish it would work the same for me, but it's not. I'm not going to tell you the name of the medication here. I have to be careful. I'm not calling the name of no medications here. And so it doesn't work for me. I have become insulin resistant. I am now using insulin twice a day. Yes, I inject myself 2 times a day. And because my body is insulin resistant, hence why I am obese. And it's so hard to lose the weight. So hard. Because of pain in my shoulder. And I also had to get some steroid injections. That also added to weight gain. The doctor did tell me that it's a chance that I will gain weight from the steroids, or it doesn't have to be. And I am so unfortunate, When my left shoulder was hurting and I could barely lift my hand, thank God I can lift my hand all the way up now. I had to get the steroid injections. And now that my right hand is swollen, I have the same problem. Can't lift up my hand all the way again. And I am so scared of going to get the steroid injections again because I don't want to gain any more weight. I am struggling as I speak to lose weight right now because of my insulin resistance. And I try to balance my diet. And I'm telling you, we must not be quick to judge people who is obese, and especially when they have certain conditions like diabetes, because you don't know their struggles. Only the doctors can tell you. My doctors and my nutritionists, they know my struggle. So we should not be quick to judge people and say that, oh, it's because they're eating too much. No, I know for sure that I don't eat a lot, and so I would never judge anybody and say that it's because they're eating too much. My children can tell you, my family can tell you, my good friends can tell you how careful or how limited I eat when I am eating. Sometimes I forget that I need to eat until my blood sugar starts to drop low. I have to run to build it up back because that's also not a good feeling. When your insulin level drops, your blood sugar gets low. I personally starts to shake and starts to sweat and feel weak, like I would just sleep away. I have to jump up and tell myself that I have to put something sweet inside my body to build it up back quick. So please don't be quick to judge people. Not because people don't come out and say, I'm not feeling well today, or this is happening to me, or I feel this kind of way. People just have to get up and do what they have to do, like myself. I have to get up, move around in the house, I wash my clothes, I cook, I do what I need to do. When I have to go outside, I go outside. When I have to go out and do business, I go out and do business. But when I come back home, I will suffer the consequences with my feet because they're painful. And sometimes my hand hurts and my back hurts. But it's not the end of the world. I have to do what I have to do. So when people suffer with diabetes and you hear that they pass suddenly, it's because they were having complications that you don't know about. Not everyone chooses to come out and share their experiences or talk about what they're going through, but sickness is for everyone or anyone, and also death is appointed to everyone. All of us, day is coming. And if you see somebody sick and you laugh at them and you judge them, remember that your day is coming. So when I say I am lying down in my bed, whether it be 3 days out of the week or 4 days out of the week, I don't feel like I can get up and do anything, or My children, they understand. My family, they understand. My close friends, they understand. They don't say that you're lazy or, oh, get up and go do what you have to do. No, because they know me and they know where I am coming from, how hardworking I was. And my body just fell from like 100% to 40%. That's how I feel because I can't do half the things that I used to do. And I'm not gonna come and cry about it. I speak to my God, and I'm happy and thankful that I have good family around me, and I also have a few good friends around me who will assist me if I need assistance, you know, or who understands when I tell them how I am feeling. So you won't be seeing any tears rolling down my eyes now, but all of us days is coming. Some of us, they don't know that they have any sickness at all until you hear that they are no more. And you wonder, then what was happening to them? A lot of people don't like to know what's happening to them. A lot of people don't like to go to the doctor and get diagnosed, but that's not me. I want to know what's happening to me so I can treat myself and try to preserve myself. A lot of people propose herbal medications to me all the time, and I don't want them because I tell myself that the doctor's medication that I have been taking for over 20 years, they are what's keeping me alive, and I'm happy for modern medicine. Yes, I'm quite happy for modern medicine. So, my joyful family, pray for me while I pray for you. Thank you for your awesome support. And thanks to the ones that will sit and listen to my experience, my life story with living with diabetes. Diabetes is a silent killer. Take heed. Get yourself checked. Know your symptoms. Google the symptoms of diabetes. Google all the complications that you can get from having diabetes. Stay safe and blessed, my joyful family.